The Lions are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Chargers, who will need to find a way to move the football. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
To throw is Tannehill. Ebron caught left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him.
And now off to the races, down the right side, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 79 yards. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. Nifty move. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, he's got a little Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, here's Tannehill. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Off play action, Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This will be fielded at the 17. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense maybe not expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, L.A. Ezekiel Elliott with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And it is now 21-0. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So here come the Lions now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Again, it's Murray, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's bat things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jamie Collins coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Tannehill to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a big play there for the Lions. 63 yards. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Latavius Murray, the 40, the 30, 10, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some.
Stephon Diggs. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And he had time there. I mean, you give any quarterback that length of time, he'll make you pay.
It just puts way too much stress on guys trying to cover downfield because, as you said, you have that much time in the pocket. He can scan the field, find the open person. That's exactly what happened there. And what was the end result again?
Touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. Going up top. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Murray. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. And they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Second down, Bridgewater. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Tyreek Hill, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. And his kick is good. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. You might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team would be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. First down, Bridgewater. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for L.A. 43 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Hey, we got four down. Let's go. Blue 58. Blue 58. 52. Here we go.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. David Njoku as the first half is winding down. And this Charger offense is running away with this one. And he's able to put it through.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Drops it underneath to Elliott, and he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Bridgewater. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Bridgewater to throw it. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
This is Elliott, and he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Linval Joseph never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. 3rd and long. It's Tannehill. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth. You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do?
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And this Charger offense is running away with this one.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? One by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
I just grab a nugget when I can.
And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of
blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat-and-mouse game. Power running by Zeke, and he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. The other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he's got room. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run with Elliott. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Ebron with it over the middle. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Ebron's got it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now a give. This is Murray. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Solomon Thomas in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
David Njoku was the intended receiver. Third down here.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And going deep for Hill. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
The throw on second down is Tannehill. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. That's Njoku over the middle. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. The give is to Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. To throw is Bridgewater. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day,
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. 30, 20, 10, 5. And he'll get it down deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hand.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas. And the Cowboys now, they've opened things up in that one. Ben Roethlisberger, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. Tyreek Hill set to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
They can keep that running theme and get into the locker room with a win. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Throwing here, Bridgewater. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
They complete it to Hill. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. To the air again with Bridgewater. It's caught by OBJ. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And that one hits the ground incomplete. So now just 4 ticks left in this one.
Go, go, go.
One last throw here for Tannehill. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off near the 44. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some